Hi guys, welcome back. So in today's video, I'm covering the hottest new bag trends and giving you my honest opinion about them. I did ask over on my Instagram if you had any specific bags that you wanted me to cover, and I got a lot of responses. So I'm going to try and cover as many of them as I can. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. So first up is the Chanel 22 bag, and I think this is probably one of the most highly requested bags I talk about, and I'm not going to mince my words here. I really don't like this style, and I'm a big Chanel fan. You guys will probably know that. I love so much of what Chanel does, but I just don't get it. I think it looks like the kind of bag I used to have when I was in school, like to carry my PE kit, and it just does not look like it would cost that much money. I would caveat this by saying I've not seen this bag in real life, so I am fully open to the idea that it's one of those bags that you have to see in order to really appreciate the beauty. And with my Chanel 19, that was definitely a style that when I first saw it, I really wasn't sure, and it kind of grew on me over time. So maybe that will happen here, but yeah, so far at the moment, I just don't like it. I think that it's a very casual style. I don't necessarily know whether it's going to wear that well. I've certainly heard very conflicting reports about the quality, and this is not priced as an inexpensive bag. Like, it is a lot of money. I've seen all the different variations, and I kind of get what Chanel was trying to do with it, but yeah, this one just isn't for me. So I'm very open to having my mind changed about it if I do get to see one in person, but yeah, currently I am not a fan. Next up are some Louis Vuitton styles, the first of which is the Empreinte Sac Sport Bag, and this one I have mixed feelings on because I like the style. I think it's a very classic hobo style. I typically love Empreinte leather as well, but I definitely had mixed experiences with the Empreinte leather, and this is coming from someone who absolutely adores Empreinte leather and really had unequivocally positive feelings about it up until about 2 years ago, I'd say. My whole experience of Empreinte was through SLGs, and I found that my Empreinte SLGs have just done incredibly well, as in they look new even after just so much use. My experiences with Empreinte bags have been a little bit more mixed. I had a Neverfull, which was Empreinte, and then I currently have the Speedy B in Empreinte as well. I do find that the structure really does get affected when you use the Empreinte leather. It is quite a heavy leather as well. I don't always think that it just kind of stands up to a lot of daily use. I saw some denting with my Neverfull, and I am seeing some denting with my Speedy B. And considering these bags are quite expensive, I don't know, I just kind of have mixed feelings about it. So that's my kind of reservation with the bag. I think that it's beautiful, but I do wonder how it's going to wear over time. Maybe it's going to benefit from the fact that it is a little bit smaller, but yeah, I definitely have some concerns about it. But if you're putting aside practicality, then I do think it's a beautiful style, very classic. Empreinte, I think, looks absolutely incredible, and I do think it's a really beautiful design. And before I forget, I wanted to do a quick little giveaway. So this is for the Chloe Sense Tote. I did say I would do the next Saint Laurent Gabby bag giveaway first, but then I realized time is getting on, and if I don't give away the Sense Tote soon, then summer's going to be over and it's going to be useless. So I'm doing this giveaway now. This is a bag I own myself in the white, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. This is the mini style, and it has that very traditional kind of twist woven design. So it is a little bit wonky on one side, but that is intentional. It's true of all of these bags across all the designers. So Loewe do this, Chloe do this. You have that beautiful twist design which starts from there and then weaves all the way around, and then you have that gorgeous leather detailing, which I just think is so stunning. It's such a great little style. It does have a little tie as well. It's definitely a mini style, but you can fit a ton inside, which is what I love about this bag. And it's just the quintessential go anywhere basket style. So I'm a huge fan of this. If you want to be in with a chance of winning this bag, I'm giving this exact one away. As you can see, it's brand new tags, never been used. To enter, all you have to do is 1, be subscribed to my channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And 2, comment below saying you'd like to enter. That's it, just be subscribed and comment below saying you'd like to enter. The giveaway is open for 3 weeks. I will put the exact end date down below in the description section. It is a completely random giveaway and it is only 1 entry per person, so no need to enter multiple times, only 1 entry will count, and it is open internationally, so it doesn't matter where you are, I will be happy to ship this bag to you if you win. In terms of picking and announcing the winner, obviously the winner will be messaged privately, but I will also announce it in the description section, and I will also pin the winner to a top comment if you wanted to check back here to see who won after the giveaway is closed. So hopefully that is everything. If I missed anything out, then I will include it in the description section, and good luck to those of you who are entering. Next up is the Oxford bag from Louis Vuitton, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. It's a very similar design to the Pochette Métis, which I know has been such a huge hit for Louis Vuitton, and I just think it's a really elegant, slightly more subtle update on that style. It is a traditional satchel style, and so I don't necessarily think I would necessarily enjoy it that much. I tried with the Pochette Métis, but I just found it a little bit too bulky and difficult to work into my daily wardrobe, but I have seen it in real life on so many people, and I've seen it styled up so many great ways, so I definitely love it on other people, and I think this is just a really lovely update. It's much more subtle and streamlined and just really elegant. I think the colorways I've seen as well are really beautiful. I hope they release it in a smaller version. I got the Pochette Métis in the East-West style, and I absolutely love that. I do have an update on that coming very soon, but I just think it's really an adorable style, so hopefully that will be in the pipeline. But the new Oxford style I just love, like really elegant, very classic looking as well, and I think they've done a really good job of introducing something that looks quite fresh while also looking like it could be part of Louis Vuitton's lineup for decades. I think that's always the goal, you know, and spending this much money on something, you want an item that looks really classic and well made, and I think this does the job just beautifully. And then next up for Louis Vuitton is the Ivy bag, and I wasn't actually familiar with this style. I had to look it up when it got sent through, but it's really cute, like really cute. It's a little bit more plain, I guess, than some of their other pochettes. I like the fact that you do have the dual strap option. So you have the mini chain and then you have the longer strap option. And that is always just such a huge win in my book, just because the more ways you can wear it, the more bang I think you get for your buck. So I love that. I didn't feel like it was priced particularly on the cheap side, but maybe that's luxury bags in general now. But I do think it just looks like a very classic Louis Vuitton style, you know, very simple, not too much to it, but because of its simplicity, I do think it will be really versatile. And I do think it's just gonna go with absolutely everything. So I really like it. Probably not a style that I would go for, just because I think it's very similar in terms of look to the Pochette Métis East-West bag that I have, but I do think it's a really nice option and a nice update on their very classic pochette line. Next up is the Valentino Loco line, and a few different styles were mentioned when asking about this lineup. So the bucket bag was mentioned, as well as their classic Loco bag. I'm not entirely sure which bucket bag was meant, because there are a few different variations, so I'm just going to kind of cover the Loco line in general. I really like this line from Valentino. I mean, I'm biased because I do actually have one, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's right there. I have the longer one, and I would say I think they could do with a size in between, because the one I have is really quite long, but the next size down is really quite short. I just think it would do them very well to have one in between, because my one, it does feel a little bit too long, but I think the small one, it just looks so tiny and petite. So that would be my request. But despite that, I have really been enjoying mine. The leather has done really well as well. I did have some concerns about that, but apart from my one mini scare about denting it with my keys, it's done fantastically well, and I think it's just a really elegant bag. This does extend to so many different styles, so as I mentioned, they have bucket bags, they have minis, they have medium bags, they have like a whole range of these styles. I'm not generally speaking as big a fan of bucket bags, just because I don't really like the opening as much, but I do think they have some really beautiful designs. I prefer the ones with the smaller logo. They do have a few with like a really massive V logo. That's just a bit too much for me, even though I do like it on the Loco style. On the bucket bag styles, I just think the smaller logo works a bit better, but in general, I'm a huge fan of this line. I think the bags are beautiful. I do think they are priced a little bit on the high side, if I'm honest with you, especially as they don't have a great track record in terms of being super classic styles that have amazing longevity, but just judging the bag like on its own merits, I do think that they are beautiful styles and seem to be very, very well made. Next up is a brand called Demellier, and this is a bit of a newer one, and I literally just placed my order for my first style from them. So I was so excited to see so many of you guys interested in the brand as well. So I went for the Vancouver, but there are so many styles from them which I absolutely love. It is a British brand, and they really kind of focus in on very beautiful, very timeless design. Like the accents are all very subtle, they look to be very well made. Obviously I can't tell you my thoughts on the actual thing yet, but hopefully it should be arriving this week, so I will do a video on that as soon as it arrives. But I went for the Vancouver style, which is a very traditional kind of satchel shape, but it has that beautiful accent detailing on it, and I just think it's absolutely stunning. So I'm very, very excited about it, but definitely a huge fan of this brand. I think their designs are just so beautiful and elegant, and definitely one that I'm really, really excited about. Next up is the Celine Triomphe bag, and Celine was mentioned a lot, and I feel like Celine doesn't get a lot of love on this channel. I can't even really tell you why, but this style I think is a really nice one, and it is very kind of subdued and subtle. I think like you do have embellishment on it, but it's not immediately obvious that it's Celine. Definitely more along the lines of some of the Fendi designs, which I think are recognizable, but more if you're really into bags, and I often think that's true of Celine, but to a further degree. So like bag lovers will probably know what a Celine bag is, but they're just not as well known as some of the other brands out there. They're definitely as expensive as some of the higher end luxury brands though, but I do think that they are beautifully made. I've had a couple of Celine styles before, and they have been really stunning styles. The Triomphe bag I think is lovely. It is a very traditional satchel style. I have mixed experiences of these. The Vancouver bag that I just got does have a very similar silhouette. I'd say the Triomphe is a little bit more traditional, I think, in terms of the look. Like the leather is a very kind of smooth one, or at least the ones that I've seen have been that smooth kind of leather. And you do have the embellishment, but again, it's very kind of pared back. So I like it. I don't think it's something that I would go for my personal taste, but I can definitely see a lot of French women strolling around with this bag in Paris. Like it definitely has that kind of look to it. So definitely very beautiful. Not my particular cup of tea, but I do think it looks to be a very, very stunning bag. And next up is the brand Polene, and I got so many requests for this bag brand. I have owned two styles from them in the past. I forget their names, but I will pop them on screen. The first one was just simply too small to be practical, so I did sell both these on, but the first one, it was purely because it was so tiny. And the second one, I just found the top handle very, very hard and just not that comfortable. So I just knew I wasn't gonna get along with it. And I'm not much of a top handle girl anyway, so it was probably just a bad style choice on my part. But that said, I got very good impressions of the leather. The store in Paris I went to is absolutely beautiful. Their newer styles, I have mixed thoughts on, I'm not going to lie. So I'm scrolling through now because I'm not going to remember all of them off the top of my head, because I haven't kept up with this brand as much as other people have clearly. I'd say the Numero 10 bag, I don't love all the saddle kind of components to it. I don't really like loose fits hanging off my bags that much, and this just has like a lot of straps involved, and this really just isn't my cup of tea. And I have a similar thought about their top handle one as well. There's just a lot of things hanging off it, and typically speaking, I like my bags to be usually a bit more structured, but a little bit more neat and clean looking than just lots of straps and kind of tassely things and all that jazz. It's just not usually what I go for. So I'm not a huge fan of that style. Their Numero Neuf bag I think is adorable. This looks really, really cute, and you do have that kind of slouchy look, but I don't feel like it's too much. I think it's done in quite a neat way. So yeah, some of their bags I do really like. I think that at their best when they do very kind of streamlined, clean silhouettes that really kind of French Parisian like elegance. I'm not such a fan, as I mentioned, of all the bells and whistles on bags, but generally as a brand, I've had pretty good experiences. Like the bags I chose didn't work out for me, but I kind of think that was almost on me just in terms of a bad style choice. I certainly wouldn't be put off trying something from them again. Like it wasn't really, you know, a badly constructed bag or anything. So yeah, kind of mixed thoughts. Some of their newer bags I'm not such a fan of, but some of their styles I think look absolutely beautiful, and I certainly wouldn't be put off trying their style from them again. So hopefully you enjoyed my takes on some of these bags. If you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comment section, and let me know if there are any other bags that you want me to cover. I'm happy to either respond to you or maybe even film a part 2 to this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.
I don't know how or how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down. I might be dreaming.